Okay, here we are with the very first THS Media Sports Roundup. I am here with Trey Stone and John Dye. And how do you guys feel about our very first podcast?
It's kind of weird.
I'm just excited to be here, you know?
I am Toby Bingham, and here we are. We're going to be talking about the football team and their recent struggles and just a lot of topics to do with their recent events. Yeah.
So first we're going to start off. What do you two think about the football record?
Well, it's clearly not good. But they seem to stay in the game for the first, half. And then I don't know if it's I don't know what the problem is. Maybe everybody gets tired, but towards the end of the game, they just start to kind of run away with the lead, the other team.
Yeah. The double-digit losses are getting hard to watch, but, I mean, we're going into the Grand Valley game. I don't know if we have any more hope, but what do you think, Trey?
They're a beatable opponent. I will say that. I'm not going to say we're going to win because you said that for the past 3 games and we count losses, but they are a very beatable team. So we have good game plan against them, our defensive scheme and our offensive, and they're a beatable team. It's not like they're overmatched. Like last year, they had a okay quarterback, but I guess everyone thought he was really good. But Griffin Hernandez, if you want to join in over here, come over, Griffin. Come on over here, Griffin. So tell me, what did it feel like to pick off Washburn commit Cole Keller?
For real, it was easy. Read him the whole time. I just seen him drop back, getting ready to throw, and just call off his man and interception me.
You heard Griff overhyping himself up right there. So,
Okay.
Yeah, first play of Cole Keller's pass. Don't forget about that. But yeah, no, they're a very beatable team.
Yeah. So now we're going to get to the topics that people want to know. What has been one of the main struggles for the football program as a whole?
In all honesty, the numbers. We started with 45 players on varsity going to our Northwest camp at not senior year, what was it? This summer. And now we have 28 total players on varsity. So if you think about it, 22 players play on the whole field, correct? Offense and defense. So only about 4 to 6 people are getting breaks out of the rest of the 7 and 5 or whatever like that. So basically our numbers is what the thing is. And we all get tired after the second half. And it's we try to push our best, but then they execute what we can't execute.
On average, how many players play both ways on other schools? So
Oak Park, none played, but I think 1 or 2 played both ways actually. Winnetonka, Jason Essex was the only one that played both ways, because their corner was hurt. And then who was the first team we played? Grandview. I think 1 or none played both ways. So I could tell you something right there.
How many people play both ways for Truman?
Oh, let's see. You got me, Freddie, Noah Wisenhunt, Patrick Martin. Chapin only plays defense because John Chapin is a QB2, and he will say QB2 till senior year. No, I'm kidding, Chapin. Love you. But then we have Colton Trelaw, Nate Bauer, Michael Larry. So, yeah. Pretty much our whole offensive starters are playing both ways because we have to play both ways, precisely.
What do you think is going to be the solution going forward for the program to flip things around?
After this year or so during this year or what?
In general, this year, the future.
Everything. This year, as of right now, it has to be we need conditioning, and we started that up a little bit yesterday, Monday, or I think it was, a little bit Monday. But mainly I think what it is people just need to come out and play. Yeah, they say, "Oh, Truman sucks," or "Oh, we don't like the head coaches or the coaches," but that's not always what it is. It's because if we have 7 players playing both ways, that means only 4 players are actually going to break, the other 7 aren't. So they need numbers. As of right now, there's only 5 actually healthy starting O linemen, and they get no breaks whatsoever. Some of them quit, some of them are injured. That's not their fault, and some of them just don't come to practice. But yeah, no. So I feel just the more numbers would be better than anything.
All right, so we're going to move on to offensive struggles. What do you think is the main reason for our offensive struggles right now?
The main reason I'd probably say is just the execution of plays. Because sometimes, me personally, I had to go from center to right tackle to left tackle. And when we just got one of our alignment back, so I had to go back to center. but like I feel like some of the kids that we bring up or whatever, they don't know the plays and they can't execute because they don't study and watch film and all this stuff, which is another big struggle. But also the offense struggle is just making our quarterback, some quarterbacks actually, because they both play now, our quarterbacks need to make, I wouldn't say better reads, but not just their first read. Because we usually have more people open than just one person if we ever watch the film.
So what you're saying is that the quarterback needs to get to a second or third read, and then your offensive linemen just need to either know the plays or be conditioned enough to play consistently.
I would say definitely the conditioning, because more than likely it's like if both of them go both ways, like some of them are gonna get tired and they're gonna slack off a play, and you can't really do that when you play football. But what's the other question you asked? The QB can't always like on short games. Yes, most likely your first read, but sometimes it's not open, so you gotta look around. Like our Grandview, we had a little struggle on offensive line blocking, but our past 2 games, Zane he's had like 3 to 5 seconds in the pocket whenever it's short and deep passes. But like we just need to just spread the ball out more and just get more people, because then like Noah Wisenhunt is Zane's main target, which is great because Noah, except for against what was the team? Oak Park. That was Noah's worst game of his life. He's played football. But no, other than that, he just needs to spread the ball around more, to be honest, because all of our receivers can catch, especially Patty, Noah, Nate, Noah Smith. That man's a dog right there. I tell you what. He may be little, but he'll get the ball and run around.
Yeah, it seems like watching the game, a lot of the times, especially the offense, just seems to shoot themselves in the foot. I mean, between drop passes and missed snaps and everything else, it snowballs on them.
Yeah, well, I would say the drop snaps. We kind of have a new center that's never played varsity until this year, and mentally, he needs just bring up some. Like, I'll be honest, he needs like to bring brought up instead of like harshed on or whatever. And then, but he just.
Hey, we're not here to call anybody out, man. We're not here to call anybody out.
I'm not calling him out. I'm just saying, like, this people need. Do I have to stop it now?
No, it's okay. But moving on from that.
It's kind of starting to turn into a Q&A, so we're going to start talking about star performances.
Wait. Before that, we need to talk about the defense. The defensive struggles, because the defense has been there a little bit more than the offense, but we've had a lot of missed coverages and everything else.
Yeah, from watching film, we have had a lot of missed coverages. But mainly what I think about it is it's just again, we're gassed. Like, if anyone watched the Oak Park game, it was like, what, 6 or like 12-0 them at like after the first quarter. And that was the closest it's been in the first quarter for us this year.
Well, even Grandview at the end of that game, at halftime, it was still pretty close.
Yeah, well, see, I was injured for that part of the last game. But, yeah, no, I feel like it's more of like the defense, because they get tired on offense because we got to go for longer. But like the defense, we just get so gassed to a point to where, like, it's kind of hard to keep our coverages. But, yes, we do have some blown coverages that we need to fix. There are a lot of things we need to fix. Okay, let's move on, because now this is a Q&A. Let's talk about something else.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about some star performances now, like John said. Who do we want to talk about first?
I think a person that needs to be talked about is Noah Wisenhunt. He, especially the first couple games, he had a rough game last game, but I have no doubt he's going to pick it up. And the first 2 games of the season showed you what he's going to be all about this year, with scoring some of the only touchdowns we've scored all year.
Yeah, I think he has 2 or 3.
Yeah, and I think we've only scored 4 or 5, so he's kind of carrying.
Yeah, one of those was in Winnetonka. He was, I mean, if you want to call it a moss, it was just.
No, that was Grandview.
Oh, that was Grandview?
Grandview was Grandview was the moss. No, it wasn't him, man. Something else, man.
Did he catch a go on one of the?
Yes, it was a go. But you know what he wants to call himself? Julian Edelman. But yeah, he wears number 7 and not number 11.
That's a great comparison.
It is a great comparison, because they're both white and they're both.
That dude is a Hall of Famer, by the way. Hot take, Hall of Famer Julian Edelman.
That is
John. Not all of us are.
That take is so bad.
Not all of us are Patriot fans here. Just saying. Mac
Okay.
Jones isn't that good, but
Next,
okay.
we're going to talk about, I think, a guy that's been doing it both ways every game consistently, and even as a junior and a sophomore on defense especially, he's been a big part of the football program, and that is Patrick Martin. Playing corner and receiver, even a little bit of running back last year after the big Oak Park fight.
Don't forget punter.
Oh, yeah,
he was our punter at one point, too.
No, he's been punting all year.
Yeah, he's been punting all year.
But
Nah, Patty's the dog. The first, like he was telling me, I was like, are you not gassed? Like after week 3, he's like, no, not really. After week 1, I just started more running a lot. So like Patty's really been improving his game and all that stuff, which is really great to help on our cheermen both sides of the ball. But from week 3, there's one dude I need to Logan Trelaw and Ethan Armstrong. Like Ethan, that was his first ever high school football game on varsity. He's never played C team or JV, and he had a sack in that game. And he didn't really miss any assignments at all. And Logan Troy had great open field tackle. One was for tackle for loss. They just get after it.
Yeah, Ethan Armstrong, he had a lot of big open field tackles, and he seemed to be everywhere. I saw him, and I didn't know who it was at first, but then I think it was Dawson who ended up telling me that it was Ethan out there. But, yeah, baby Trelaw, both Trelaws tackle very well.
Yeah, especially big Trelaw, thinking he can run me in practice, but he can't. But, like, no, they both deserve a lot. And who's another one? Xavion Toombs.
Sophomore.
Xavion Toombs, the sophomore, has been eating at it at running back. Week 3, he had I think it was close to 20, 30-yard screenplay run, and it was amazing. And then he's just a tough runner, especially in the Jamboree against Raytown South and Lee Summit West. He was just running all over everyone, even whenever the lineman messed up or the wide receivers messed up. Xavion's just been a dog out there lately. That's all he's been right now.
And can't forget about Zane Anderson too. I mean, season last year was not very good without Zane.
Yeah, after that torn ACL in week 3.
Yeah, so it's nice to have him back.
Mhm.
That.
So now we're going to move on we're going to talk about some of the new upcoming games, which obviously Friday night we have Grain Valley, which, I mean, that should be a good game. Grain Valley's always good.
Mm-hmm. Good competition.
And then after that, it's Wagon Wheel at home, which will be nice.
It'd be nice to get a dub there and ride the gator on the field and see what happens there. Hopefully we don't get in trouble.
And then we play Van Horn, which that game will be their home opener for the very first time at Van Horn High School.
Yep.
And then Belton, which they knocked us off in
They knocked us off in the
last?
playoffs. Yeah, they had a really good scheme with the wishbone formation they had and all the run plays. But the one key thing in the playoff game was Michael Larry. He did make a great pick 6 that had us to lead 10 to I can't remember that well, but 10-7 at halftime, and then we beat them both at last year during halftime. I was talking to Patrick Martin. Last year during halftime, we were 7-2 going into half, and after that we were 0-something.
What do you think was the issue after halftime?
Last year, I really couldn't tell you. We were more of a first. I think because we had everything more dialed up, but this year it's just we're trying to put the pieces together in week 3, which should have been week 1, but everything happens with the teams.
Do you think that the issues from last year have moved over into this year, or do you think those have been solved?
I feel like the numbers issue is still moved over to this year, but more the communication issue really isn't that bad because our own line, we're pretty solid with me, Freddie, Will, Gaynor, and Trelaw, Keenan, all of us right there. We all just try to be a group and go eat dinner and just have fun with each other.
Yeah. After that, it's Fort Osage at home, which Fort Osage has been turning it up all year. Solid quarterback. They're pretty much good all around the field.
Yeah, I would say their offensive line and quarterback is probably one of the biggest threats they have, really, from watching a few games that they've played.
And then you end the year at Raytown High School.
That's going to be the toughest one. Yes, we are 0-3, but Raytown will be the toughest game we have, especially with their running back and all the way they have their formations and everything.
From this point in the season, what do you think your record will end up being?
So we're 0-3 right now. Let's see here. Grain Valley, Chrisman, Van Horn, Belton. Personally, I want to say, let's see, there's how many games are in the season? 9. Personally, and we have 8 regular season games. No, 9 regular season games. Personally, I would say regular season is going to be 6-3. But that's just me because I want to win. But in reality, I'll probably say 500 or one above.
Okay, John, what is the game that you are most forward to watching in the future?
It better be the Chrisman game.
I'm definitely going to say Chrisman, just because Chrisman's always a good rivalry game. It'll be especially fun to have it at home because I know the student section will be crazy. I've
heard some talks about some bears on sticks.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to.
I have no say in that, so I'm not going to say whether we're allowed to do that or not. But
it's not confirmed, but
yeah,
it's confirmed, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Well, yeah, that should be a good game. But, I mean, we got a lot planned, I think, for the Wagon Wheel game throughout. I think there's T-shirt coming out. I think the
Yeah, it's the wagging wheel on the front and then both the teams on the back. That way it's a neutral shirt. Both can have it for the game. Both sides can have it for the game.
yeah, everyone usually shows out for that game. It should be a good
Should be a good matchup.
community like event
Yeah.
to show off what Independence has to offer.
And they won 5 years in a row, and we're hoping to come out with a dub. We got a pretty good game plan when it comes to that time.
Okay, well, that kind of wraps up what we have to talk
That wraps
about
up that
today.
podcast.
I mean,
Toby